Okay, welcome back. Let's talk about advocacy in this lesson. And it's a pretty quick one. You're probably glad to know that after, a couple longer lessons. Let me share my screen with you and we will dive right in. Okay, so now, let me just make sure. Okay, looking good. So we are continuing with our 7 steps. We are on step 6, advocacy. And again, this funnel is becoming smaller and smaller because it becomes a smaller number of people. But I would argue that it's still equally as important because in these last 2 steps is where you're going to keep people in your practice for their lifetime. And if you're able to do that, your practice grows and thrives because as you're adding new people, you're keeping old ones. You don't have to always find new people. Okay, so advocacy for the greatest success. One way that we create advocacy in my practice is to be able to provide levels of care. So people have called me that I'm working with in my neurofeedback expert program, and they'll say, demographically, I'm in a community that's blue collar, and, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell neurofeedback at these high price points. I think that, first of all, I don't think that's true because if you provide the value, people will purchase it. And my husband uses the analogy all the time about braces. If you have the ability to come up with the funds to provide braces for your child so that their crooked teeth become straight, people find the money for braces. And a person's brain functioning pattern is even more important. If you can make your prospective patient see that, they'll find the money. So I would argue demographically, that's not even a factor. And we work with people of all walks of life who, if they want to come in, they find a way to do it. But we also provide levels of service. So we have some services that are less expensive. We have other services that are more expensive. So that way, if people want to join our practice, they're able to do so. And a true story is a gentleman came in for brain map. He really needs neurofeedback very badly, but he does not have the funds to be able to do so. We offer care credit, which provides an opportunity for people if they qualify and if they're able to do that. That wasn't an option for him, but he joined us for chiropractic care because he wanted to be in our office. And you already know how I feel about being able to heal people and affect people by just being in a relationship with them in that aspect. So joining us for chiropractic care was the first step for him to be able to begin to get well. It's not everything he needs, but at least he's in the loop with us, and over time that will develop. And because we have different services and that one is covered by his insurance, he's able to join us. So levels of services that are provided at different price points that serve almost the same situation for a person or exactly the same can really benefit advocacy because it gives a person a way to join you even if they can't afford it. And then cross-pollination, we're going to talk about in just a minute at the end, allows that person to stay with you over time also. And I'll tell you that in just a second. Remote neurofeedback. We offer remote neurofeedback so people are able to come and work with us from far and wide. So if people are in a 30-mile circumference of our office, we use a combined program. They have to come in for in-office services so that we can be in that relationship with them. We can use our in-office service, our in-office systems, and provide the greatest level of care for them. But if people are from far away, we will run independent remote programs. We also have a pricing model for that remote program that's independent that we help teach people in the Neurofeedback Expert Program. But so this way we're able to serve people. So people from far can call and we have a way to serve them. People who can't afford it yet, we have a way to serve them. It's an answer for everything. You know how I feel about that. Now, in terms of cross-pollination, this is key for advocacy. Cross-pollination means they've come to you for the main service that you provide. And we're going to say that maybe is neurofeedback. For me, it's always been neurofeedback. For my husband, it's chiropractic. So anyways, when a person comes for one of those services, we offer additional services but we don't try to get people to do those services simultaneously because, as you know, it's sound bites of information. People's nervous systems can only handle so much at a time. You have to give them the right amount of stuff to deal with or you will overwhelm them. So, and we've done it. That's how I know, because we've done it a handful of times. And I am usually aware we're about to do it, and I'm playing with these procedures. And I just did it when we added remote neurofeedback a year ago. I was playing with the way that we recommend remote neurofeedback, and I was trying to recommend it all out of the gates during the report of findings. And my report of findings closing rate is incredibly high. It's almost 100%. It's very, very high. And during that week, it was very low. Nobody signed up for care because I just confused them by giving them options. And so what we've learned is we get people into care in the office, and shortly after, we have a mechanism to introduce the idea of remote neurofeedback to them. And I do plant a seed during the report of findings if I think it's going to be something to serve people. But the idea is we recommend the main service that they came for, and we set them up with that, and then we have moments in time across their program that we plant the seed and then we help it grow for cross-pollination. The additional services that we offer in my office, like I've already told you, spinal decompression, that's another higher dollar amount, cash-based service that honestly, a lot of our neurofeedback patients also are on spinal decompression because once they learn about it, and if they've had chronic back or neck pain, especially if someone runs hot and uses a lot of high beta, they tend to have a lot of the challenges physically that spinal decompression serves. So they're great patients, and we give them a great process and great outcomes in neurofeedback. And then they have no qualms about investing in spinal decompression. It happens all the time, and it's really wonderful because we're able to serve people, and of course, it helps grow our practice. Food sensitivity testing, psychotherapy, massage. So at different points in the program, then we recommend that they have the evaluation for these other services. It's a combination of how far along clinically they are, so they don't have to absorb any information. But you remember, half of our keys to success here are based on a strong business model. It also is taking into consideration when the last payment was made for a person. So if they've already paid for their whole neurofeedback program, and this is the case with the Neurofeedback Expert Formula, then there's 3/4 of a year left where there's no payments. So this is a lot of time for people to be in care, and then usually then they will want to invest in other services because their payments have already been made. It works out really, really well. Okay, so a way to create ease of advocacy is to offer a consultation. And in this course, I'm going to give you a free consultation workshop idea so that you can get this rolling right away if you'd like. Like I said, you can go on my YouTube channel and check out some of the videos there because that'll give you ideas also. But the idea is if you have a neurofeedback patient and they want to refer somebody else in, that person's going to need information to move them through these 7 steps. And a way to provide that is either a consultation, which you would take a deposit for, or if you do workshops in your office, and if that's something that's exciting for you, then you can do the workshops also. And I will tell you, as part of the Neurofeedback Expert Program, I do online webinars for my community, but all the neurofeedback expert doctors can host that webinar and send all their prospective patients online to my webinar where I give them all that information. But that doctor is able to keep those people's emails and follow up with them. So I'm trying to provide that as a service for people too. Okay, so it's easy, especially for neurofeedback, it's easy so that a person can say, yeah, just get a consultation. It's free, or, she does webinars, and you can go online and check out that webinar. And so you want to download your downloadable so you can think about the idea for your free consultation and workshop so you can create it if you're interested in that. But I did want to tell you also that when it comes to advocacy, a lot of people who come in for neurofeedback don't really want other people to know they have the problem that they have, which led them to neurofeedback. That makes it different than chiropractic per se. And if you're in the mental health field, I'm sure you can appreciate that because your patients probably have similar feelings. A person with depression doesn't want to go, hey, yeah, go check out neurofeedback. It's really helped with my depression. So This way, if you have other services and you have a plethora of services, your patient can recommend to their friends to come check your practice out. And that's why cross-pollination is so cool, because, so for example, a lot of my neurofeedback patients will send friends and family in for chiropractic evaluations. Many of them become chiropractic patients. And that's an easier thing to say. You got to go check out Leigh Brain and Spine. The doctors are great. You know, have a chiropractic evaluation. They're making me feel great. But when they come in, then now they're in the loop with our communications. And, you know, we have a massage therapist. That's an easy entry point also. Okay, download your free consultation idea. Start advocating for your patients to be able to send other people in. And at the perfect points in time, have your patients be able to take advantage of your other services through cross-pollination. Stay tuned. We have one lesson left and then a summary, and you then will know the 7 steps to create a successful neurofeedback practice. I'll see you in the next lesson. Thanks.